Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Saturday, June 12th, at 8:25 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 670 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. The truth about hair, skin, and nail supplements. Putin says Trump is an extraordinary and talented individual who is an outsider to the U.S. political establishment, unlike careerman Biden. Asians and U.S. share reasons they're now looking at opportunities abroad. Heartbreaking video shows the moment an Indian elephant bids farewell to his beloved master who died of cancer. Restaurants and pubs are reopening inside, but what are the rules? 8 dead, 3 injured in China factory's chemical leak. Biden just sabotaged his own vaccine plan. The family photo of world leaders from Biden's first G7 summit is noticeably different from the one from Trump's first G7. A Delta pilot discovered a note inside a plane that a fellow pilot left at the beginning of the pandemic. Brave grandmother died after struggling with Florida Public's gunman, sheriff says. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. Pine Island Glacier's ice shelf is ripping itself apart, speeding up the Antarctic glacier, see Tech Daily. At least 13 people were injured in a shooting in downtown Austin, authorities say, CNN. Delta COVID variant, what are the symptoms of the new coronavirus strain, NJ.com. What will it take to beat Israel Adesanya at UFC 263 Sports Center with SVP, ESPN. 6-year-old shot outside neighbor's home, trauma requires mental therapy, TMZ. COVID-19 vaccination rates still lag in key areas as U.S. continues on path to reopening, CNN. California Governor Newsom signs order to end most of state's coronavirus restrictions, reopen Tuesday, Fox News. Georgia shooting leaves at least 1 dead, 8 wounded, reports, Fox News. College football playoff expansion may surprisingly level the playing field, enhance the regular season, CBS Sports. Phoenix Suns vs Denver Nuggets, full Game 3 highlights June 11, 2021 NBA playoffs, House of Highlights. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. 13 injured in downtown Austin shooting, suspected shooter not in custody. YouTube suspends GOP Senator Ron Johnson for COVID-19 misinformation. Action figures photo of Biden with G7 leaders becomes a hilarious meme. Trump teases writing book of all books and Twitter users can wait. Alicia Silverstone says we've been pronouncing her name all wrong. Watergate's John Dean, new Trump scandal is Nixon on stilts and steroids. Unabated crime wave as president, ex-prosecutor pulls no punches with Trump. Seized House records show just how far Trump admin would go. Vladimir Putin dismisses Joe Biden's assertion that he is a killer. Lobster diver swallowed by humpback has a whale of a tale to tell. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Man gets 85 years in jail for assaulting 3 sisters. Families wish beloved bus driver happy retirement. Bernheim Forest's new art installation, Spirit Nest. Car dives head-on over concrete divider. Teen electrocuted after falling on CTA tracks. Shortage of 911 dispatchers plaguing St. Louis. Bullying victim who attempted suicide dies at age 13. 8-year-old girl finds explosive device while playing outside. Police chief candidate defended officer. Second suspect arrested after man killed. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, the New York Times. G7 leaders are poised to sign a declaration on global health. India's COVID crisis tests Modi's ability to shift narratives. Oyster farmers who feared going broke brace for summer boom. Has New York hit a progressive plateau? The mayor's race is a key test. How private equity firms avoid taxes. Born on the left, data for progress comes of age in Biden's Washington. Take the ship, conservatives aim to commandeer Southern Baptists. In making the French Open final, Djokovic edges closer to his rivals. BTS meal frenzy forces some McDonald's outlets in Indonesia to close. How to think outside your brain. The following headlines are from the sixth most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Possible mass grave found near Auschwitz death camp in Poland. Critical race theory, diverse group of mothers from across the country speak out. KT McFarland, Biden's European Grand Tour is full of opportunities for U.S. leadership, will he seize them? Michigan lottery winner who later collected food stamps is found dead in a river. Chicago shooting, at least 7 injured Saturday morning. Cal Thomas, this is the secret ingredient that will put Republicans back in power in 2022 and 2024. Biden to urge G7 leaders to stand up to China on re-education camp abuses. Indiana bank shooting leaves security guard dead, one suspect nabbed, another sought. SI swim search finalist Kristen Lowell-Gaffney explains why she tried out 3 times, I was worried. Rachel Campos Duffy, fight back against wokeism and build a freedom library for your family. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Saturday, June 12th. The next headlines are from the 7th most popular news website, with 63 million estimated monthly unique visitors, CBS News. Oh my god, I'm in a whale's mouth, lobster diver says he was nearly swallowed by whale off Cape Cod. Suspect who broke into home using ceramic rabbit held at gunpoint by homeowner until deputies arrive. Stream the Palmetto Championship. Some federal unemployment benefits run out this weekend. How long does your state have? 4th stimulus check, will you get another relief payment? We are rescuing countless animals, Doug thrown on using drones to save animals and series Doug to the rescue. It is exploring what it means to be beautiful, Aline Galindo on Paramount Plus SY Women Kill. Lindsay Arniak on SRX Racing opener at Stafford Speedway, this is going to be racing like nobody has ever seen. When will the pandemic end? The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. PC, police officer is investigated after being caught on home security camera urinating in public. Mother, 25, is held at knife point by masked raiders who steal 5 English bulldog puppies. Boris Johnson risks an EU trade war as he vows to protect Ulster chilled meat exports. Extinction Rebellion protesters take to the sea to demand action on climate change at G7 summit. Mother sues Lib Dems after she was banned from standing as an MP after being labeled transphobic. Oxford dons refusing to tutor students in Cecil Rhodes statue row benefit from imperialist funding. Freedom Day will be delayed another 4 weeks to July 19th. Statue of James Watt to be reinstalled in Birmingham with plaque on his family links to slave trade. Airlines shrink their schedules until the end of July as Boris Johnson plans to move Freedom Day. Boris Johnson says England fans should not boo players for taking the knee. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is The Washington Post World News Feed. Russian COVID-19 cases spike 47% in a week. Sri Lanka seeks initial $40 from stricken ship's operator. At least 6 injured in cargo ship fire at Manila Wharf. Saudi Arabia says Hajj to be limited to 60,000 in kingdom. Ransomware suspected Russian roots point to a long date up between the Kremlin and hackers. China's wandering elephants on the move again. A political guide to the European Soccer Championships. The toll of Israeli strikes on Gaza, mapping the destruction left behind. What's on the menu for the G7 summit? Baked brie, toasted marshmallows and hot buttered rum. COVID-19 live updates. J&J to scrap about 60 million doses of its coronavirus vaccine. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. G7, leaders to sign landmark global health declaration to stop future pandemics. Live updates. Coronavirus live news. Experts urge caution on England's lockdown easing. Saudi Arabia bans foreign visitors from Hajj pilgrimage. Peru's knife-edge election could be good news for Latin America's left. Tony Wood. In the Heights brings fame to New York neighborhood, but what do residents think? Harry Dunn death. Johnson and Biden discuss virtual trial for U.S. diplomat's wife. Dire situation. Silicon Valley cracks down on water use as California drought worsens. Original Rainbow Pride flag returns to its San Francisco home after 43 years. Everything went dark. Humpback whale swallows and spits out diver. Black and Latino communities are left behind in COVID-19 vaccination efforts. Reviving friends is like getting back together with your ex. A bad idea. Hadley Freeman. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Biden to urge G7 leaders to call out, compete with China. At least 12 people injured in overnight shooting in Texas. YouTube suspends Senator Johnson for COVID-19 misinformation. Daughter of reputed Mexican drug lord sentenced in U.S. Man faces weapons charge linked to Georgia mall shooting. California governor signs orders to roll back virus rules. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. G7 Summit, Biden wants West to form alliance against China. Algeria election, voting underway in parliamentary poll. Seizure of Democrat Apple data by Trump officials to be investigated. Humpback whale spits out lobsterman. Hong Kong activist Agnes Chow released from prison. Peru, no serious irregularities in presidential runoff, say observers. U.S. lawmakers introduce bills targeting big tech. Joe Biden, unearthing the president's unsung English roots. I could be with people and still feel alone. Class 12 exams, India students face uncertain future amid pandemic. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Keep dancing Orlando, 5 years later, Pulse nightclub shooting survivors seek to embody strength of LGBTQ community. Loving Day, a look at interracial marriage 54 years after Supreme Court decision. Today in history for June 12. Oregon Red who let rioters into Capitol expelled. First threat of 2021 Atlantic hurricane season, forecasters eye developing tropical system in Gulf of Mexico. Darnella Frazier, teen who recorded George Floyd's murder, awarded Pulitzer Prize special citation. Governor, Texas will build new border barrier. Chicago officer charged in Capitol insurrection. Pentagon, Biden plans to divert border wall money. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. What does a chef have on hand for emergencies? We asked LA's food people. Japan and Mexico have earthquake early warning systems. How does California's compare? Lucy Jones says this is the most important thing you can do to prepare for a quake. Earthquake apps, which ones are worth downloading? How to talk to your kids about earthquakes. Here's what would happen if a huge quake hit Los Angeles. How earthquakes happen, the science of a shake. What to do during and immediately after an earthquake. Your guide to retrofitting your home for earthquakes. Magnitude 4.6 earthquake strikes near Nyland, California. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Saturday, June 12, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More from other news sources is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. Russia raises 2020 COVID-19 death toll by 38% in grim admission. Christian terrorist who mowed down Muslim family was laughing as he got out of blood-covered truck. Thousands march in support of Muslim family killed in truck attack in Canada. Amsterdam plans to keep tourists in penis outfits away, sending a blunt warning that visitors whose intention is to booze and misbehave, dressed like a penis, should go elsewhere. Millions of rounds of ammunition stolen on Mexican highway. IDF troops filmed helping build illegal settlement outpost slated for demolition. Hong Kong democracy activist Agnes Chow released from prison. Israel closes case of prison officers filmed beating Palestinians, only 4 of 10 officers questioned, and none arrested after March 2019 incident at Ketziat prison, Haaretz reports. Bolsonaro booed on plane, tells critics to take a donkey. Russian President Putin says relations with U.S. at lowest point in years. In the interview, Putin praised former President Donald Trump as an extraordinary individual, talented individual, and said Biden, as a career politician, was radically different from Trump. Biden to send $150 million in military aid to Ukraine as Russia eyes U.S. forces ahead of summit. Stop illegal drills off Truong Sa Islands, Vietnam tells Taiwan. India's most famous yoga guru to take COVID vaccine after berating doctors and modern medicine. Navalny's top aide says Putin was done to put him in prison because it turned him into a symbol. The next headlines are from Forbes. Gareth Bale super agent prepares for battle with FIFA. U.S. Army hacked by 40 military and civilian hackers in 6 weeks. Super Yacht Cup Palm returns this month. China adds new billionaire after online job platform Canton soars on Nasdaq debut. UFC 263 full fight video, watch Nate Diaz defeat Anthony Pettis. WWE SmackDown results, winners, news and notes on June 11, 2021. A surprise pandemic win for border stores at one of the world's biggest travel retailers. A new tennis quote, how Novak Djokovic stacks up against Nadal and Federer after French Open Classic. UFC 263 betting odds and prediction, Israel Adesanya vs Marvin Vettori 2. The best new movies to stream on Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, HBO and Disney Plus this weekend. The next headlines are from Nature.com. Massive science funding bill passes U.S. Senate, but China focus worries researchers. 6 mentoring tips as we enter year 2 of COVID. Flurry of photos capture China's Huron rover on surface of Mars. Not just sorcery, scientists build an invisible portal. Coronapod, counting the cost of long COVID. A small earthquake could pose a big risk to a U.S. city. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,711,269,784 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Wish Dragon Review, Hong Kong set Netflix movie makes up in attitude what it lacks in originality. The 10 biggest takeaways from Variety's virtual TV fest. Roadrunner, a film about Anthony Bourdain review, the insatiable life and enigmatic death of a foodie superstar. Poser Review, a compelling psychodrama set inside Columbus' underground music scene. In the Heights soundtrack album reaches the same heights as the movie. BTS McDonald's meal sparks frenzy and store closures in Indonesia. Joe Berlinger writes fiery email to No Man of God director, accusing her of misrepresenting his Ted Bundy films. All My Friends Hate Me review, exquisitely uncomfortable social anxiety comedy horror. Bill Murray sings Take Me Out to the Ball Game at Chicago Cubs' first full-capacity game since pandemic. Music industry moves, Oaktree invests $375 million in primary wave music, IFPI chief gets MBE from the Queen. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. Syria bombs hospitals, now it will help lead the World Health Organization. The Westminster Dog Show is this weekend. Meet the newcomers and revisit past winners. Biden's summit with Putin follows a harrowing history of U.S. meetings with Russia. 13 hurt in downtown Austin shooting, suspect not in custody. Hate wiped away a Muslim Canadian family, here's how friends want them remembered. Apple iPhones can soon hold your ID, privacy experts are on edge. Crime is the key issue in New York City mayor's race. A.G. Garland vows to defend voting rights as the cornerstone of American democracy. Skateboarding gives freedom to rural Indian teen in Netflix film, and in real life. China's new anti-foreign sanctions law sends a chill through the business community. The following headlines are from the week. The ransomware epidemic. The two-man space race. Biden has every intention of discussing Alexei Navalny during meeting with Putin, White House says. Climate policy is the infrastructure that matters most. The story behind the Boris bike, Biden's gift to Boris Johnson. Puzzles, interactive crossword, June 11, 2021. The week's best photojournalism. Department of Justice Inspector General to probe secret subpoenas of Democrats during Trump administration. Puzzles, interactive crossword, issue, June 18, 2021. Solutions, crossword and Sudoku, issue, June 18, 2021. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. For the first time, redeemed Texas parents may get a second chance. The next headlines are from Universe Today. The moons of rogue planets could have liquid surface water and thick atmospheres. They could be habitable. Supernova observed by astronomers in 1181 could have been a rare Type 1X that leaves behind a zombie star remnant. China's Mars rover, seen from orbit, and from the surface. These are the news headlines for today, Saturday, June 12th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. Earliest sunrises before summer solstice. Young moon, Venus, Mars after sunset mid-June. See first new images of Ganymede in over 20 years. Favorite photos of Ring of Fire solar eclipse. NASA announced 2 missions to Venus by 2030. Why that's exciting. The next news is from Politico. George Floyd's murder transformed America. Biden flourishes in Trump's absence from the world stage. Nevada meltdown gives Iowa hope of saving first-in-the-nation fame. Opinion: why has local news collapsed? Blame readers. Fed explores once-in-a-century bid to remake the US dollar. A pricey new drug that may not work. Why drug pricing critics are staying quiet. G7 leaders fighting on two fronts. Putin, relationship with the US has deteriorated to its lowest point in years. Hard-nosed, buttoned-down guy, colleagues defend prosecutor who oversaw leak cases. Iran and Venezuela are testing Biden with suspected weapons transfer. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. AFL 2021 Live updates. Crows closing gap on Saints after horrible start in Cairns. Clark suffers broken jaw. Half-yearly report card. The best movies of 2021 so far. Premier Daniel Andrews reveals return date. Tech companies turn to offline advertising. Tables turn as magpies swoop in on vixens. Gem of a sitcom sparkles in expert hands. Mitchell leaves nothing in tank as Johnston bags hat-trick for bunnies. Coral carpentry on the Great Barrier Reef. Little bit concerned, higher testing numbers integral to Victoria restrictions decisions. Government must remain accountable even in future pandemics. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. I have these really deep beliefs about stability and survival. Anna Sale, host of Death, Sex and Money podcast, on our evolving relationship to money. In one chart, this industry saw a 112% rise in job openings since the pandemic, and it's not leisure and hospitality. What is inflation? Hint, it's not the 12% increase in rental car prices last month. Used cars and housing costs drove inflation last month. The Moneyest. I'm 59. My wife is 33. We have 2-year-old twins. I pay for my mother-in-law's rent. The time has come for me to cut the cord. The Moneyest. She is an enabler who refuses to admit it. My mother sold her house to my brother and offered me 10% of the proceeds. Is that fair? Dispatches from a pandemic. We will all be incredibly rusty, no doubt, and play terrible. The softball field is replacing the office water cooler. Houston hospital workers were told to get vaccinated or be fired. Now their case is being heard in federal court. Market Extra. How oil soaring to $100 a barrel could be bad for this boom-bust sector and the economy. Newswatch. Inflation scare. Look at this chart before freaking out. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Republic of Nauru enacts trademark registration system, intellectual property, Nauru, Mondac News alerts. Youth robotics team to display invention at innovation event, Chicago Daily Herald. Navy Research Center's IP program fosters and protects innovation, TechLink. The Center for Advancing Innovation and collaborators partner to launch the Innovate Children's Health Challenge II, Pro News Report. Your Manchester, machines that made our lives easier, Journal Inquirer. Latest legal update Express, Startup Series Top 5 Funding Programs for Startups, Lixology. Is there a brighter picture for patent rights, intellectual property, Cape Verde, Mondac News alerts. COVID-19 vaccine patent waivers, food, drugs, healthcare, life sciences, worldwide, Mondac News alerts. The Elbert Files, more about Morrison, business record. McKee, Voorhees and Cease is seeking a biotechnology patent attorney agent, IPWatchdog.com. The next headlines are from Quartz. Companies look beyond free popcorn to butter up their retail investors. The Coinbase IPO kicked off a new era in crypto, or did it? Can Nigeria still be a tech hub without Twitter? Weekend edition, fretting about inflation, feminist companies, where's Sheryl Sandberg? Congress wants to give regulators ammunition to go after big tech. Half of UK fast fashion is made from new plastic. American workers are quitting at the highest rate in decades. ER visits in the US plunged in the pandemic, and that's not good. What it's like to be in Taiwan, 1 year late to a pandemic lockdown. The case for celebrating bad English in the workplace. The following headlines are from Tech Dirt. Oatly sues Purity for trademark and trade dress infringement. Will Congress' big new push on antitrust actually solve any competition issues? Department of Justice says it's time to add ransomware attacks to the ever-expanding war on terror. Former FCC boss Wheeler says Trump FCC napped on cybersecurity. Senator Wicker introduces bill to guarantee the internet sucks. Daily Deal, the 2021 Complete Angular Developer Bundle. Department of Justice leak investigation targeted Rep. Adam Schiff and his family members. Music publishers sue Roblox in full frontal assault on the DMCA. Florida Sheriff's intelligence-led policing effort is nothing more than a targeted harassment program. The decades-long trademark dispute over pretzel internet service providers comes to its obvious end. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Wish Dragon. Aaron Carter. Sixers. Department of Justicia Cat. Daphne Rubin Vega. Lupin. Jacob D. Grom. Saweetie. Hitman's wife's bodyguard. Israel Adesanya. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Don't complain about my cleavage anymore, golf babe SP ironic weighs in on runner's X-rated wardrobe fail. Still overvalued, pundits take shots at the Sun after Murdoch lists cash hemorrhaging tabloid as worthless asset. Wrong D-Day? British Army mocked after accidentally recreating porn meme with World War II veteran couch photo. Spoke about robbery, now he gets robbed, cruel fans troll Mayweather as ring icon offers $100K reward after Vegas home burgled. Sitting on time bomb, Deutsche Bank issues grim post-pandemic warning for U.S. economy. At least 13 injured in mass shooting incident in Austin, Texas, video. Utterly terrible choice, Spurs fans not convinced as ex-Roma boss Fonseca close to agreeing 2-year deal to succeed Mourinho. Social justice crusader ACLU told black staff to keep quiet about systemic racism in organization, lawsuit. Sharapova in awe as Djokovic downs Nadal in French Open Classic, and fans are allowed to defy COVID curfew to see conclusion. Soviet collapse taught Russians the danger of being a messianic superpower. Biden makes it clear America hasn't learned the lesson. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. Tony Blair suggests unvaccinated Brits should remain under lockdown restrictions. Victor Davis Hanson, this isn't your father's left-wing revolution. Manhattan to Hamptons in 30 minutes on this 40-passenger drone bus. The war over genetic privacy is just beginning. Firework shortage could ruin 4th of July. Brandon Smith, the real reasons why California leftists are terrified of the AR-15. PG&E warns of more blackouts as California wildfire season begins. How fanatics took over the world. Perfect storm, congestion plagues South China and U.S. West Coast ports. Connecticut to enact highway fee for trucks. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. Texas Governor Abbott vows to build a wall along Mexico border. Power swarm, a revolutionary approach to solar microgrids. Lobster diver survives after being caught in a whale's mouth. Texas, at least 13 wounded in downtown Austin shooting. U.S. gravely concerned ahead of elections in Ethiopia. Algerians vote in parliamentary elections amid boycott calls. Torture complaint filed in France against UAE official. Garbage, Putin denies Russia plans to give Iran spy satellite. UN says global plan needed after G7 COVID vaccine pledge. From Sheikh Jarrah to Gaza, journalism under apartheid. The next headlines are from Breitbart. KT McFarland, Joe Biden helps Russia, hurts America by increasing oil prices. Molly Hemingway, media hysteria over Lafayette Square contributed to dozens of deaths, billions in damage in summer of violence. Maine lawmakers pass bill to divest state pension from fossil fuels as oil usage grows. Putin, Trump is an extraordinary, talented, colorful individual. Watch, officer in gun battle asks civilians to call police. Meghan McCain, Harris sounded like a moron discussing immigration. Hamas denounces Ilhan Omar's remarks equating Palestinian resistance to the crimes of U.S., Israel. Mayorkas, illegals to get aid from DHS Office for U.S. Victims of Migrant Crime. Report, police in rural India force unvaccinated to wear skull and crossbone signs. Emails, Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel sought arrest of business owner to thwart Fox News appearance. The next headlines are from UPI News. Woman wins $2 million lottery prize while running errands with mom. Watch, beach stingray rescued on Georgia beach. Message in a bottle travels 30 miles in just 7 days. Otter found hiding in engine of parked car in Scotland. Camera dropped into British Columbia lake washes up 1 year later. Look, firefighters free raccoon with head stuck in sewer cover. Watch, Norwegian man dead hanged for 16 minutes to break world record. The next headlines are from odd, strange and bizarre things. The weirdest things you can do this summer. These 10 plants will get rid of mosquitoes this summer. Health supplements, how to ensure you're getting a quality product. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. Flying squirrel as big as a cat discovered in Himalayas, one of the least known mammals on Earth. Mind-blowing surgery in mother's womb spared dozens of babies from spina bifida paralysis. Orchids make fake pollen to tempt the bees, but scientists discover it's as valuable as the real thing. A pregnant mom became a hero after saving 4 kids from drowning. Weirdness of dreams may be why we have them, says New Theory of Dreaming. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Saturday, June 12th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. Vulture Mia becomes first bird in the world to receive permanent bionic limb replacement. NBC halts production on Ultimate Slip and Slide amid report of explosive diarrhea outbreak on set. Leaks IRS documents confirm, the rich don't pay taxes. I was completely inside, lobster diver swallowed by humpback whale off Provincetown. Woman in India reported missing found 11 years later living with partner next door to family. A woman who got stuck in a chair while making fetish content had to be freed with the jaws of life. I was completely inside, says a lobster diver from Massachusetts, after being swallowed by a whale, news media. Wife arrested after allegedly agreeing to have husband killed on installment plan of $100 per week for 40 weeks. Israeli archaeologists find whole 1,000-year-old egg, and accidentally break it. El Salvador to use energy from volcanoes for Bitcoin mining. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. DeepMind researchers say reinforcement learning is the key to cracking general AI. A quantum physics lullaby to ward off your killer robot nightmares. OpenAI says it can make GPT-3 less toxic without enforcing universal values. Volt launches $1,399 e-bikes with a motor made by Acer. After 20 years, the human genome is almost complete. Here's what's left to do. Greek island lays ambitious plans to become super sustainable, but it's just a drop in the Aegean Sea. Amazing is the management app every Apple user needs, and it's over 50% off. Amazon's Zen boobs are ridiculous. Here are 4 better ways to boost worker wellness. How to customize swipe gestures on the Gmail app. El Salvador is the first to adopt Bitcoin as real money, which is good news for the unbanked. The following headlines are from Science Daily. New discovery shows human cells can write RNA sequences into DNA. Edge of Pine Island Glacier's ice shelf is ripping apart, causing key Antarctic glacier to gain speed. Study finds brain areas involved in seeking information about bad possibilities. An omega-3 that's poison for tumors. Fashion for pointy shoes unleashed plague of bunions in medieval Britain. Astronomers spot a blinking giant near the center of the galaxy. Star's death will play a mean pinball with rhythmic planets. The next headlines are from Information Week. Rubin Observatory goes open source to capture galactic data. What we can do about biased AI. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Saturday, June 12th from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. U.S. Route 6 reopens, but drivers impede firefighters. Utah sheriffs say they will protect Second Amendment rights. Utah GOP leaders will again tackle critical race theory, gun rights. Biden gives Utah's Hill Air Force Base $24 Trump took for border wall. Utah Jazz forward Bojan Bogdanović has raised his defensive level in playoffs, just ask Kawhi Leonard. Delayed reporting from one provider boosts Utah's COVID-19 vaccination numbers. 5 active wildfires burn across Utah as state sees extreme conditions. Utah Olympic bid committee letting athletes take the lead. Officer justified in shooting man who fired at police after a motorcycle crash. 18-year-old drowns in Midvale, and a 14-year-old drowns in Springville. The next headlines are from Slashdot, tech news for nerds. Mouse sperm thrive despite 6 years of exposure to space radiation. Potential sites for UK's first prototype fusion power plant identified. New York State low-cost broadband law blocked by U.S. judge. Florida's fired COVID-19 data manager permanently suspended from Twitter. Phishing sites reached all-time high in January 2021. Google announces bold new changes to Chrome OS release cycle. Apple admits it ranked its Files app ahead of competitor Dropbox. Third member of U.S. FDA advisory panel resigns over Alzheimer's drug approval. Global banking regulators call for toughest rules for cryptocurrencies. UK lawmakers ask Biden to drop charges against WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Chicago police officer charged in Capitol insurrection. Former Mascota water treatment manager sentenced for kickbacks. Rams, NFL try and stop civil case over relocating to Los Angeles. Former daycare operator charged with new crimes while on probation. Jefferson County struggling to increase COVID-19 vaccinations. Hot conditions heating up business for pools and HVAC companies. Mom holds vigils around town to remember son who vanished in 2003. Gift cards for vaccinations, St. Louis County Council to consider idea. 4 Missouri counties called COVID hotspots as cases and hospitalizations rise. Bill Murray asks Cub fans to put scare in the Cardinals during 7th inning stretch. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. 4.6 magnitude earthquake rattles SoCal. Late spring heat wave on the way to San Diego area. We're not gonna stop. Family grows frustrated as search for missing Chula Vista mom marches on. Cal OSHA proposes new workplace mask rules. CDC to hold emergency meeting on heart inflammation after COVID shot. City attorney, resources better used providing public restrooms than prosecuting man from rough arrest. Newsom signs orders to roll back California's virus rules. Mexico and U.S. said to be negotiating into border restrictions, with vaccination requirements. As some hospitals face pushback on vaccines, local centers say shots not required. Justice Department, Congress probing Trump seizures of Dems data. The next headlines are from spooknews.com. Best stealth app to spy cell phone without installing software on target phone. China behind hacker attacks on Russian government, report, Illinois News Today. Ex-Mossad chief signals Israel culpability for Iran attacks. Opinion, spy, does Canada need a foreign intelligence service? Accused serial killer busted after Rite Aid cashier slips GPS in bag. Spotify is aiding and abetting abusers, users call out streaming music giant for lacking block feature. China behind series of hacker strikes on Russian government agencies in 2020, report. Israel ex-top spy reveals Mossad operations against Iran. S&P 500, SPX SPY ES, technical levels to watch as more record highs broken. iPhone hacking services to spy on iPhone apps remotely, the American Reporter. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. Russia sends warships to shadow U.S. Navy destroyer in Black Sea. Pentagon to release $150 million in military aid to Ukraine. Ukraine to unveil new fighting vehicle during military exhibition in Kiev. U.S. Navy receives first TH-73A training helicopter. U.S. Navy accepts delivery of third landing craft of new class. U.S. Army moves on to the next phase of next-gen artillery system program. Northrop Grumman to help U.S. Air Force ensure the reliability of Minuteman III force. The next headlines are from SupChina, top news about China. Tencent's game studio tries to combat employee burnout by banning long working hours, but will others follow suit? Diddy the Uber Slayer set for the world's biggest initial public offering. Hong Kong expands film censorship under national security law. Zhang Huang lost his vision at age 21, then he climbed Mount Everest. The Ark, inside a Chinese hospital during COVID-19. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Saturday, June 12, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Program prepares graduates for workforce in Fremont. 3 fires broke out in Berkeley Hills. Santa Clara County closing 4 of 5 mass vaccine sites. 1 dead, 2 injured after driver crashes into San Jose outdoor dining area. CDC investigating heart inflammation following COVID-19 vaccine. EBMID will pay you to convert your lawn to drought-resistant landscape. North Bay family gets creative to secure a new home. 19-year-old dies in San Jose street racing crash. Crews respond to brush fire in Fairfield. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Austria looking for goals versus North Macedonia at Euro 2020. The Netherlands return, will face Ukraine at Euro 2020. AP photos, playing on at Italy's oldest music conservatory. DeGrom exits with elbow injury in Mets 3-2 win over Padres. Hendricks has tantrum over rain, gives up tying homer. Chicago police officer charged in Capitol insurrection. Some Great America guests could be eligible for $200 under settlement. Bail reduced for man charged with reckless homicide in crash that killed Judson students. Illinois reopens averaging lowest new COVID-19 cases, fewest intensive care unit patients. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. Central Washington University student arrested after allegedly stealing, burning pride flag. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Orange alert for Tropical Cyclone 521. Population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Drought is ongoing in Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Paraguay. Drought is ongoing in United States. Drought is ongoing in Afghanistan, Iran, Kazakhstan, Pakistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. Drought is ongoing in Madagascar. Drought is ongoing in Azerbaijan, Iraq, Iran, Jordan, Syria, Turkey. Drought is ongoing in Canada, United States. Drought is ongoing in Argentina, Chile. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 5.5 m, depth 63.96 km, in Indonesia November 6, 2021, 2:23 UTC, 440,000 people within 100 kilometers. Green forest fire alert in United States. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Saturday, June 12th in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Mass shooting on Austin 6th Street, 13 hurt, suspect at large. Here's when a chance for cooling downpours returns. Sheila Jackson Lee hosts COVID vaccine barbershop tour today. League City yacht dealer killed after being followed home from dinner. Galveston police release sketch in search for men who attacked 72-year-old at Galveston Kroger. Sugar Land City Council approves rebate program for residential generator installations. American Idol auditions to be held virtually again this year. Convicted sex offender sentenced to 40 years for not registering in new state, court records say. Frito-Lay is bringing 160 new jobs to Rosenberg. Houston surpasses 200 homicides this year so far. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. Listen up, Roberto Mancini is Italy's standout at Euro 2020. Sri Lanka seeks initial $40 from cargo ships operator. The latest, Johnson meets with EU leaders amid Brexit spat. Islanders Lightning, Knights Canadians in uncertain Final Four. Transgender athletes fight Florida's new ban. Algeria votes for new parliament but activists plan boycott. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. The landmark Childs building on Coney Island Boardwalk is now a massive new restaurant. Extra extra, the dangers of engaging with elevated stupidity. Policy cheat sheet, where the Democratic mayoral candidates stand. Fake your COVID vaccine card in NY, that could come with a year in jail. How to be a smarter ranked choice voter, do's and don'ts. New York schools are still the most segregated in the nation, report. A guide to all those other races you'll be voting for this month. Watch, stuck bus unstuck from Brooklyn townhouse, New Yorkers rejoice. Once term limited council members are vying comeback, some good government groups don't seem to mind. Teenager killed, 4 injured after speeding Tesla driver crashes into Mill Basin Senior Living Facility. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. Global leaders to Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, stop the atrocities in Tigray. First person, an on-air antidote to misinformation in the Central African Republic. Gooters, vaccines should be considered global public goods. Mozambique, violence continues in Cabo Delgado, as agencies respond to growing needs. Continuing Venezuela exodus and COVID-19 highlights need for global solidarity for most vulnerable. To improve global health security, we must not abandon tackling existing epidemics. UN elects 5 new members to serve on the Security Council. Why mixed messages could turn Boris Johnson's Glasgow climate summit dream into a nightmare. UNESCO report highlights need for greater investment, diversity in science. UN scientists, climate change and biodiversity loss, 2 parts, 1 problem. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. CDC admits teens vaccinated with Pfizer or Moderna at higher risk of heart inflammation. Governor Abbott, Texas will build its own border walls. Kamala Harris tells Spanish media U.S. is a safe haven for migrants after staging Do Not Come stunt for Americans. How contact tracing works, 2, equally creepy, case studies. CDC to hold emergency meeting after 100s suffer heart inflammation following COVID vaccines. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Arkansas woman sues trooper for flipping her SUV during stop. Is this Elon Musk defend billionaires billboard real? Did Hunter Biden call his lawyer the N-word in texts? YouTube suspends Senator Ron Johnson for COVID-19 misinformation. Lobster diver injured when caught in whale's mouth. Teen who recorded Floyd's arrest, death wins Pulitzer nod. Ice shelf protecting at Arctic glacier is breaking up faster. Public supermarket shooter made Facebook threats that weren't reported. Euro 2020's anti-racism rowers tournament latest controversy. The mysterious little door at Disney World's Magic Kingdom. The next headlines are from factcheck.org. Evidence points to safety of COVID-19 vaccines for pregnant people. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. I'm opening a pizzeria in my backyard thanks to the Rockbox Pizza Oven. Stop paying Chris Harrison and shitty celebrities millions when they're fired. The pandemic hit and suddenly I couldn't read a damn thing. The one big question about Trump's Department of Justice spying on Dems. Bill Maher has a message for QAnon on behalf of cicadas everywhere. The pathetic new chapter of the baby Trumps. Far-right's niche network targets schools that talk race. How pets help these LGBTQ families survive the pandemic. The Blame America First crowd is dragging down the Democrats. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Pulse nightclub shooting survivor reflects on massacre 5 years later. Dad dumps 80,000 pennies on estranged daughter's lawn for final child support. Mets Brandon Nimmo has torn ligament on left index finger. Mets need to be sure Jacob deGrom is okay. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Healthy mouse pups born from freeze-dried space sperm. The sky this week. Enter the summer triangle. Infinity and Beyond. Episode 20, What are quasars? You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. Hospitals across U.S. tell workers they must get COVID-19 shots. Astronomers discover weird exoplanet that could have water clouds. Biden says U.S. to donate 500 million doses to global COVID-19 vaccine supply with no strings attached. U.S. makes major strides in fight against COVID-19 as death toll nears 600,000. Spectacular views of Ring of Fire solar eclipse. breaking down Biden's plan to donate COVID vaccines. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. Tulsa attorney is serial rapist, assaulted at least 6 women, police say. Brazilian President Bolsonaro heckled aboard plane, tells critics to take a donkey. Poker player skips niece's wedding to play cards in Vegas, hits it big. Dogs rescued from enormous sinkhole that's swallowing a house. Jill Biden, Duchess of Cambridge learn bunny care on tour. Troopers in Cuomo protective unit interviewed as part of sexual harassment probe, report. Alton Sterling's children to receive $4.5 million from settlement with Baton Rouge. Polio outbreak in Philippines has ended, WHO, UNICEF. Eric Adams slams Andrew Yang's NYC residency attacks as racism. New York lawmakers approve funds for Cuomo impeachment probe and potential trial. The following headlines are from military.com. 2 Louisiana Guard soldiers deployed overseas die days apart in non-combat incidents. Small arms training, Alaska Missile Field, Department of Defense details projects funded by border wall cancellation. Lawmakers fume over acting Navy secretary's call to cancel nuclear sea-launched cruise missile. CDC releases findings on heart inflammation in young adults after COVID-19 vaccine. Air Force adjusts new hair standards for women after feedback. Marine Corps working dog trainer dies after being swept out to sea off Okinawa. DNA, forensic genealogy close 65-year-old double homicide of airman, girlfriend. Missiles target U.S. troops, contractors in Iraqi army bases. It's official, White House taps former destroyer Captain Carlos Del Toro as Navy Secretary. Prince Harry spreads news about Invictus Games in Germany. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Reopening day, at the brewery, the ballpark and elsewhere, it's a mostly cautious move back to normal. Coronavirus in Illinois updates, as Chicago and state fully reopen, 401 new COVID-19 cases and 22 additional deaths reported Friday. Tinley Park, Illinois, man identified as bank security guard killed in Calumet Township robbery attempt, 1 suspect in custody, police say. Appellate court orders mother who killed 4-year-old daughter in Bloomingdale to remain in state custody. The Spin, Lightfoot's media tour as COVID-19 restrictions lift, Pritzker out-of-sight mayor, top cop denounce extremism as Chicago cop charged in Capitol riot new lawsuit over Democrat drawn map. Life is Work Center. Temperatures hit 90s Friday, weekend temps to drop but still be above average for early June. Second special prosecutor in 2 years adds to turbulence for state's attorney Kim Foxx's office. Judge orders rare hearing in New York for R. Kelly to decide on potential attorney conflicts. Boy, 14, fatally shot in Longdale as family was moving from neighborhood to escape conflict, cops say. The following headlines are from FIS.org. Norway sees oil in its future despite warnings. Space pups, mouse sperm stored on International Space Station produces healthy young. Nobel-winning Japanese chemist dies at 85. Big data, IPK researchers double accuracy in predicting wheat yields. Pine Island Glacier's ice shelf is ripping apart, speeding up the Antarctic glacier. For lovebirds, backyard sleuths boost scientists' work. Climate change is a threat to Africa's transport systems, what must be done? Plant functional traits may better explain liana species distributions. Shelter from the storm, the social landscape of pets and disasters. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Saturday, June 12th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. AP Week in Pictures, Global. Microsoft and Nintendo ready game announcements for subdued virtual E3. The following headlines are from MercuryNews.com. Rubin, Biden-Putin summit tests strengths of democracy versus autocracy. Horoscopes June 12, 2021, Kendra Wilkinson, Rethink How You Socialize. Word Game, June 12, 2021. Bridge, June 12, 2021. Ask Amy, I lost some friends over this wedding blunder. Harriet Cole, I don't like that my girlfriend is a cheerleader for other men. 4.6 magnitude earthquake rattles Southern California. Miss Manners, my roommate declined the dinner I made, and I think that's rude. Dear Abby, how do I tell my parents a relationship isn't normal? The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Apple, Trump Department of Justice subpoena swap data on 73 phone numbers, 36 email addresses. James Lankford grills Xavier Becerra on birthing people, suggests using mom instead. Michelle Lujan Grisham, New Mexico governor, defends settling sexual harassment claim. U.S. Embassy in Kabul halts visa process as Afghan allies scramble to escape before troop pullout. Gavin Newsom signs executive order to roll back California coronavirus restrictions. Loudoun County Public Schools to appeal reinstatement of teacher in transgender flap. Alexandria Assistant Police Chief Don Hayes to serve as interim leader. AOC Apuela story blaming Trump for hurricane woes shot down by Ant, we had the assistance. FBI shuts down Slilp website that sold stolen login credentials linked to millions in losses. Anthony Blinken presses China to join coronavirus origin probe. The next headlines are from The Intercept. Somebody is a finalist for the Pulitzer Prize for audio reporting. Political system unites to condemn Ilhan Omar for telling the truth. Baltimore businesses request police crackdown on low-level crimes. Banishing the ghost of the Great Recession. The Biden administration is routinely sending Mexican children back to danger, report finds. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Saturday, June 12, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from Eureka Alert. Comparing symptoms, RNA levels in patients with SARS-CoV-2 infection. AI predicts how patients with viral infections, including COVID-19, will fare. Astronomers spot a blinking giant near the center of the galaxy. Are we genetically grounded? International analysis of electronic health records of children, youth hospitalized with COVID-19 in 6 countries. Scientists call for improved management of a weedy tree to protect owl habitat. Factors associated with self-reported symptoms of depression among adults with without previous COVID-19. Deep learning with SPECT accurately predicts major adverse cardiac events. Autopsy study of patients with without COVID-19. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. Seth Jones isn't the solution to Blackhawks' defensive woes, but Dougie Hamilton could be. Dear Abby, I'm 30 and my parents want me to check in constantly when I travel. Bears rookie QB Justin Fields can learn from Andy Dalton without becoming him. 10 shot, 1 fatally, after gunman opened fire on Chatham sidewalk. CPD sergeant struck by car in Woodlawn at End Run. 15-year-old boy hurt in Washington Heights shooting. Horoscope for Saturday, June 12, 2021. Carjacker returns 3-year-old girl safe after driving off with her in the backseat. What injuries? White Sox Tim Anderson not too concerned. Woman killed in Brighton Park shooting. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Saturday, June 12, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. Harris County approves free parking, coffee and lunch for jurors as planning for pay raise continues. Witnesses at Congressional Glow inquiry say that George P. Bush is trying to start a fight between Houston and Harris County. Reviews for the uneasily quarantined, In the Heights. Elite Theater expands its offerings and talent across the board in its new season. Openings and closings. Nabo opens, Al Braco this fall, a new Ragging Cajun. The way too early Houston Texans 53-man roster prediction. Houston gardening, after the rain has gone. Houston's 5 best weekend food bets, from brunch to happy hour, sip roast all day. Miles Copeland remembers the police, Go-Go's, Bengals, and Timbuktu in new memoir. The next headlines are about world records making news. Chinese woman breaks own Guinness World Record for the longest eyelash, video, Daily Pakistan Global. China's weightlifting world record holders Deng Wei, Tian Tao out of Tokyo 2020, inside at the games.peace. Depto dog wash world record elusive but canine rescue service will try again, Illawarra Mercury. Tourists visit Lake of the Ozarks for world record boating attempt, KY3. Pilot attempting world records youngest around the world solo returns to Phoenix where he trained, PR Newswire. Loco Abreu retires after world record football club career, France 24. Ian O'Riordan, eyebrows raised as world record tumble in quick succession, The Irish Times. Trini-born operatic singer to be awarded a Guinness World Record, TV6TNT.com. Sifan Hassan loses 10K world record, bounces back with 353 1500 flow track podcast. 10 world records that could go down at U.S. Olympic trials, swim. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. Whale takes one bite, sends man right back to kitchen. Telecom companies win injunction to put New York's affordable internet law on hold. House lawmakers say they want to break up with big tech. Puppets and gore make a delightful combo in horror short snore. Wow, Marvel got Owen Wilson an action figure already. Electronic Arts hackers say Slack was their secret weapon, report. Trump's miserable mouthpiece leaving for fantastical social media platform. Teen Titans Go, see Space Jam's trailer is beyond meta. A breakthrough trial used bacteria-infected mosquitoes to stamp out dengue. European Space Agency lays out plans for next 30 years of space exploration. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Mon in Botswana at 138.2 degrees Fahrenheit or 59 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was University Wi in Dome Fuji at 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. 3 experts resign as FDA advisors over approval of Alzheimer's drug. NY cannot force internet service providers to offer $15 low-income broadband plans, judge rules. CD Projekt Red doesn't about face, says ransomware crooks are leaking data. MISC 101, installation, care, and feeding on Ubuntu. AT&T CEO seems confident industry can kill Biden's municipal broadband plan. Kina, Bridge of Spirits hands-on premiere, as good as Legend of Pikmin sounds. British veteran set a new hypermiling record of 9.14 miles per kWh. Amazon, eBay fight legislation that would unmask third-party sellers. Google Chrome ends its war on address bar URLs, for now, at least. Tesla takes aim at upstarts with 390-mile range, 200 miles per hour Model S Plaid. The following headlines are from Raw Story. How Trump kids' futures are in full decline now that he's out of office. The slow leak of Trump's corruption is becoming a problem for Biden's Department of Justice. Pollster Frank Luntz issued a memo to insiders in 2019 that sheds light on an emerging GOP strategy. Impeachment counsel somewhat suspicious Devin Nunes staffers are implicated in Department of Justice spying scandal. Trump was an unabated crime wave, ex-prosecutor lists the atrocities. Mad Dow calls out Biden administration on Trump's Department of Justice scandals. You have to fix this. 3 shot in the parking lot of a Louisiana police station, report. QAnon's demise is well underway as adherents cut and run from the cult, columnist. Putin lavishes praise on Trump ahead of first summit with Biden. Miami Spanish radio spreading psychological cancer as it promotes Capitol riot conspiracy theories, report. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. Plastics from takeout food are clogging up our oceans, study shows. How the White House's shift on unemployment insurance could undermine its own economic agenda. Barr and Sessions must testify on the Trump administration's secret probe of Democrats. From our archives, the origins of tech people loving the idea of going to space. Putin shares blame for 400,000 American deaths. Should Biden shake his hand? G7 leaders, welcome to Mount Rushmore. Trump went on an execution spree. Biden can make sure that doesn't happen again. It's not just income taxes. Billionaires don't pay inheritance taxes either. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. The UFO report won't change minds, but maybe it should. Mint. The following items are today's top search results for the term neural plasticity. Opinion: how to think outside your brain, The New York Times. Can ADHD make you tired? Medical News Today. One day my body went, I cannot cope with this. I was physically sick, The Sydney Morning Herald. The next items are the top results for news about longevity and immortality. The science of how to live to 150, and why you might not want to, telegraph.co.uk. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Saturday, June 12, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. Contacting aliens could end all life on Earth. Release of UFO photo prompts more questions than answers. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Saturday, June 12, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. News i8 is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by News i8. All rights reserved.